Well, hello. Hi.
Yay!
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi.
Ah,
Hi. we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. And
what
we
he
back.
said.
Oh, boom, 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 boom. This ain't no intro. This the entree. Find that music like coming from my Beyonce. Sorry, I like Chance the Rapper.
Okay. No,
Uh, you're muted.
I know. I just switched mics. Is it
Okay.
better now? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Perfect. Could have had a baby, man. No, I'm watching that. That's right. We back after some type of hiatus. We got our boy the War Machine. War Machine. We got our boy comedian and author Wyatt Sinak. Nah, I'm fucking with you. That's Echo Ninja. He's over there drinking a can of whatever the hell that is.
what is
Uh, straight from.
beer?
No, it's not. That's straight from the factory of the Badoo. That's what that is. From the.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to True Story Bro podcast. that I put the podcast at
It's
the
been a
end.
podcast. It's been a podcast for like 6 seasons.
You know?
Let me find out.
Well, how's everybody been doing? What
Uh,
a question.
Beer Man, you go first. You look relaxed and rehabilitated.
I'm okay.
Mhm.
I can't complain too much. Still going through wedding stuff,
Understand.
and living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream.
And what dream is that?
Who's next?
Uh, as our previous birthday nigga, because that's what he was. His birthday just passed. Happy belated birthday, even though I called you. And you on some Neo in the Matrix shit like Morpheus, where do I go? He was like, nigga, I'm at work. I'm like, you right. I'll call you back later. I'll call you back later. So yeah, me, I'm back here. Uh
Back where?
back in my the place that I was before I moved out, aka my mama's house.
So, mommy day. Every day.
Every day, exactly. Yay and stuff. But yeah, looking for work. Uh this fucking strike got everything fucked up. But eventually your boy's gonna be back at it again.
Well, we can talk
Doing what
about
he's supposed to do rather than what he's got to do. It's just gonna take a little bit longer time. Zenzat. Went to a couple of cons, did some interviews,
I
and
saw.
oh yeah. I saw, and sometimes I conquered.
And the
But not
moment I
with
saw them, I was like, "Oh shit! Let me drop these." Okay.
yeah, he wobbled, and he dropped it like it was hot. And once I fix my lighting situation, I won't have to look like I'm being interrogated by the police. Yeah, dad. Passing on to our
You don't
boy.
look like Casper's opposite brother
If you talk
from
about
the darkness.
I'm negative Casper.
You're
So
from the
passing it
negative
on to
zone.
my boy, the War Machine.
me. I am good, actually. I'm actually really good. I haven't been good in a while, but I've been really good.
Facsimile.
I don't know. Like, I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me a little bit. Um, the weight of the job that I had, it felt like a weight that I was carrying on my shoulders, and it's been lifted, and I feel good about myself, a lot more about myself. It's weird. It's like I found myself with the last job I had was just like I felt so drained, like drained, like physically drained, emotionally drained too. Like I remember sometimes I would go like wake up feeling drained, And like even when I was going to the gym, I felt drained. I was just like drained to even work out. It was just crazy. Like that thing emotionally drained me. Like because you're just like you're hearing about people's problems and like the runaround of also putting me on a bilingual team when I don't speak fucking Spanish. None that does. I mean, I don't speak Spanish, so why put me on a bilingual team? I'm not even getting bilingual pay, which bilinguals get paid more, but they won't give me bilingual pay. But they
Facts.
won't put me on a bilingual team. Suck my dick. I want fucking I want to pay, but they weren't doing that. So I felt very,
You heard the man. Suck my dick.
Hey guys,
like
that's
that.
my cat.
Yes, the stream is not the hearts. So, but yeah,
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, you were
so
still doing your
it's been a lot of weight lifted off of me, and I'm happy. Um, so yeah, I feel good. Na 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 na
I knew that you would.
na 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 na.
What's going on, Black Caesar?
Black season.
Black Caesar, Caesar Black.
What, what, what's up, fam? What's
What's
happening?
up? Just talking about
Same old,
what
same
we've
old.
been up to lately. I'm just going over the fact of like I feel like the weight is lifted off of me. Because of the last job was just like a lot to deal with, dealing with a lot of people's problems, a lot of people's like
Mm.
sometimes it. I think the problem was just like you like when people call you, they would be already stressed out, and then like when they would call me, they'd be already stressed out, and then some of these people would break down and cry because you're helping them, and sometimes it'd be too much for me.
Mm.
Weight is like a lot to deal with, and it's like I'm dealing with my own emotions, and just to kind of cut myself off from that was just a lot. It was just like, all right, and and sometimes I just like they give you a 10-minute personal, like, and I'm like, they would like, hey, is everything all right? It's like, please don't ask me if I'm all right. Let me have my goddamn 10-minute personal. Don't talk to me. Don't message me. Don't fucking message me. I'm talking about it'd be like
Got it.
my supervisor, and then it would be like somebody that's there. And it's like, oh, it says like you're in your you're taking a 10-minute personal. Is everything all right? Leave me alone. That's what I want you to do. Leave me the fuck alone. That's all I want you to do. Don't talk to me. Let me decompress a little bit. And I think that's the problem with that job. There wasn't a lot of time to decompress. Like I remember going to practices and just like being tuned out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would just sit there and be like tuned out because I was just trying to decompress before I even get there. I'm talking about like because I would have to rush one.
Mm-hmm.
I would leave the job at 6:45, right? That means I have to go, practice starts at 7. So that means I have to get an Uber, get to the practice. Practice starts at 7. Even when I'm on the way, like I'm still trying to decompress. I'm just like I get there and I'm just trying to decompress myself. At the gym, I as I'm stretching and doing my yoga, I'm decompressing. And it's like but then like all that working out I'm doing relieves it a lot. So yeah, that job was very stressful, and the pay wasn't that great.
Mm.
It just wasn't. It wasn't good, especially in this time right now where we're in. Like when the cost of living is so high,
Oh yeah.
you paying motherfuckers 16.
Mm.
No bueno.
Indeed. Indeed.
So sorry to say this. I don't think any job in this day and age, at this point in time, I don't care what it is, honestly, cannot be paying people $13 an hour, $16 an hour. The cost of living is gone up tremendously. That pay rate should not exist at this point.
15 years ago, maybe, but nah, this ain't 15 years ago.
18, 19, $20, 20. Like honestly, not to pay people $20 an hour is laughable. I'm sorry, it really is.
Mm.
It really is. I don't understand how people cannot pay somebody a well-paying wage. Like $20, 19, $20, like up and up at that's great. But to pay somebody $16 an hour now,
Yeah.
15? Hell nah.
Yeah, needed that about 15 years ago.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the whole the whole SAG and the actors get all that stuff was just drop like it made movies and TV dry. I was like, oh well, I guess we're gonna have to wait 3 years for this movie. We have to wait 4 years for this one. But here's the thing, I'm happy that the SAG and WGA.
SAG-AFTRA.
So, yeah, I'm happy that they reached a settlement. Not for just like I'm happy they reached a settlement because not for nothing. These visual effects people, these visual effects, the writers, the actors, they need to be paid and they
Well, the visual effects people still are. They're still working on their stuff. Is
like
usually
oh
right
they're
now.
still working on it.
It's just the writers and the actors that are
I thought they were
coming
part of that.
to a
No,
degree, but they're a different part. They're a different section.
video game industry just got voted in to
Oh really?
SAG-AFTRA.
No.
Mm.
They're not striking, but they've been voted in with SAG.
Okay.
Does that mean they reached an agreement?
With the WGA they did.
Just with the Writers Guild.
Just with
The
Yeah.
actors are still being
the
worked
actors are
on.
still on strike.
Mm.
Right.
Well, how you guys feel about that?
Well, before we start, we got our boy Caesar. So
Oh yes. Sorry.
let's see what happened with Caesar. I know what happened, but I ain't trying to, ruin what went down with our boy Black Caesar the Weasley. Go for it, brother.
Right.
How you been?
I've been all right, man. Just just doing my daily, AA, Amazon and art. So whatever odd jobs I managed to get a hold of, I take. So yeah, it's been all right. It's been interesting. Well, at least in terms of requests, anyway, because I'm always getting some I'm getting some wild cards there, but I don't ask questions. I just do the job and get my damn money and be on my merry way. So
That part.
yeah. Exactly. It's like it's like, hey man, I don't judge. I just draw. So yeah. But yeah, things have been all right, and of course, I catch the occasional trying to catch the occasional new show on the spare time. Seeing what was up with the Continental. Not bad. A decent start off. See where the other two go. At least we get to explore a little bit about the whole John Wick universe and how shit got so fucked up, to a degree. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to the creator. So yeah, I'd say that's about it. Had an art show over the weekend. That was fun at the Rawway Center.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was real nice, festive. It's got a lot of creative minds there, interesting people, and hopefully can embark on some more shows. Hopefully before the year's over. I'm kind of counting on that because holidays will be coming up and bro's gonna need some more bread to buy some folks some stuff. So yeah, overall productive. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man. I wish I knew. Once I saw the pictures, I said, man, I wish I knew. Because normally, anytime you got a show, I'm usually busy with like work or something like that. But since the nigga is Tommy from Martin and I ain't got no job, I would have definitely been over there, and I definitely would have made that happen. And,
yeah, of course.
Because I did some interviews over like 2 weekends ago at what's the name, ZapCon, and once I saw my boy put out some of his stuff, I said one of these days I got to show up at a show with my man bringing his art to life and to the people, and I got to interview my boy to show that he's the baddest, he's the pretty, low down mofo in this town, in this art game. Show enough. Just saying.
Yeah, well, hey man, what like I said before, wouldn't happen without you, man. You was the one with the master plan in terms of cosplay. So that's got to give you credit on that, my man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, of course.
What? Speaking of cosplay, what's gonna be the next thing? What's gonna be the next? What we got? What we got? What we got?
Yeah, man, contemplating. Oh, don't worry, I'm still, thinking on the Alonzo Harris. I'm still thinking on that.
That'd be great. That'd be
What I
great.
mean? Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to pull off. And who knows, might actually might fool some motherfuckers that thinking I am LAPD. But
now that would be interesting.
It sure enough would be. Man, just get shook and get bribe money. It'd be great. That and I don't know, man. Another thing I was contemplating, maybe possibly Prowler, man. I don't think anyone's been fucking with that yet. At least not to my knowledge. Anyway.
That'd be nice.
I haven't seen a Prowler.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Prowler actually in a while.
Yeah, I mean, of course,
you live in a good neighborhood, so you should be fine. Got him.
I mean, of course, that's probably gonna change due to the Spider-Verse movie. We're probably gonna see a whole bunch of them motherfuckers out now. But
right.
Yeah. But that's something I've been real thinking on, man. I like the Prowler. He's like one of those unsung Spider-Man villains. I like him. So yeah, between those two badass brothers, Alonzo and Aaron.
Cool.
Just want to put. Hey Dennis, what's going on? How you doing?
What's good,
Dennis? I don't know who that is, but who's that? Do we know him?
Just say hey, Dennis. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
A simple no would be suffice. Hi, Dennis.
The simple hi.
There's the majority of the people on here that we don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
know somebody we knew because
just say hi.
Sometimes we got people we know. I didn't know.
Nah,
that's what I'm asking.
It's okay.
See, that's what I get for answering questions from the War Machine.
Thank you for joining us, Dennis. Our antics right now.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
You all right, brother? You good?
Oh yeah. It's it's old age. It's fine. It's old age.
Yeah, don't Craig know it anyway. No, you know.
What? He said you.
Because he said, "Oh," I'm like, "You good?" He was like, "Yeah, just old age." I said, "Don't Craig know it."
I still look good for 39.
That's true. That's true,
man. You are not cracking at all. You're not cracking. No.
I'm doing good.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes,
I got like maybe like 4 grades, but that's it. I can't beat this dude above me.
Nah. Father Tom done wanted to talk this man's ear off, but it's all good. That's why I cut. Another reason why I cut my hair short, because otherwise you see the 35 grays on top of my head spread around, just to let a motherfucker know you can't do nothing, can't touch this.
Honestly, I think the only person who can really pull it off here is Sokka.
Oh yeah.
Even with his little salt and pepper, he still look like a handsome man.
That's a distinguished gentleman right there.
That's that black and Italian blood.
Exactly. But you need to come up in here with a Fantastic Four suit, rock and be like, "Well, I'm Reed Richards, motherfucker."
That's another one who can rock Grave very well. He's been rocking it for like over 60 fucking years.
Exactly.
By the way, I just wanted to thank whoever might be watching this, after the live thing. But if any of you people who are the 4 people who've been watching Ahsoka with me, thank you for putting an extra several new people a part of this channel. Really appreciate that. You guys are helping us out really good.
Appreciate you.
Keep it going.
And Dennis said, somehow I discovered your channel as soon as I saw your list of videos. I subscribed.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You're the man, Dennis.
You're the man, Dennis.
Help us get to 500, please.
You're the man now, dog.
Well done. So now that we're all caught up with what's going on, y'all been feeling it.
But as a sidetrack, real quick sidetrack, Usher's going to be doing the Super Bowl.
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's great. What's the topic?
As long as he don't pull out a titty or cause a riot for Kiki
Nah,
You
that's
know.
bad, bro.
Oh yeah, no. As long as he doesn't do another one, we good. We don't need no. He don't need him changing places. But
stupid.
yeah, well done. All right. So now, gentlemen, we're back on it. We're gonna go on the topic what we started for. As you can see, it says how we gonna fix it. And while discussing with the boys about the topic that we're gonna be doing, it has been a good slash not so good year for DC and Marvel entertainment in some aspects. Sure, we got some good stuff like Across the Spider Verse, which is a totally different, hill of beans. But when a couple of other Marvel and DC properties that have been for the last couple of years have met with fans and utter disappointment. And we had a episode a while back that we talked about what if we made a sequel to this, how would we make it better. We decided to do that with these past movies and TV that we wish could have been better. And to go around the room, we'll throw out whatever show or whatever movie, what we wish we would have saw and how we could have made it better.
Let's start off with let's do DC first because let's start with DC first.
DC's.
Yes, let's start with DC first. How do we fix DC movies?
I am never good at this shit.
Well, you're gonna get good today.
Gonna get good today, Hemi.
All right, let's throw it in the pot. Everything. Thank you. The man has no nickname. Came
Good
in there. What's
answer.
the
I
everything?
can't stand him.
Even when he's hard at work, he's still giving you nothing but the hits.
Oh,
What's the name today?
shut your ass up.
So if he comes in here with, because he's gonna come in here with a crazy name,
Of course, that's his new thing now, so, and I appreciate it.
The man with many nicknames now.
Correct. He done flipped the script.
So call him Alias.
So I'm gonna throw a title out there, and this was like one that my lady didn't care to see, and she gave me T-Mobile Tuesday to go see this movie, and I didn't make it. I went to go see something else, and I'm glad I didn't waste her T-Mobile Tuesday watching this film. I waited to HBO Max when it was still HBO Max, and now it's just Max. But it gave me the minimum of what I was looking for in a superhero movie. And that movie is Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods. Now, they should have called it Shazam 2 Fury of the Audience because holy shit, what the fuck did I watch? And I could tell you it wasn't a good movie. Everything that was great about the first movie, somebody just took a dump in an envelope. Exactly. Took a dump or dookie in an envelope, send it out FedEx, Express Mail, and UPS, and then said this motherfucker like, "Oh, this ain't chocolate." I'm like, "No, it's shit." I'm just glad you recognize shit. It was everything about the first one was bad. Not
I'm
good.
sorry to interrupt real quick.
Go for it. Dude.
I'm gonna be honest. I've always wanted to see it, but I have never seen True Detective.
Oh, it's great. It's
Really
fantastic.
good. Really
fantastic.
Same here.
Fantastic.
Same.
So
yeah, amazing.
So Dennis wants
season 1 was great.
Dennis wants me to react to it.
Yeah.
To season 1. Okay. So if any of you guys are up to it, reacting with me, I'll watch it because I really do want to watch it.
Season 1
it's
and
good.
2, so yeah,
it's good. It's good.
Isn't that the one with like Matthew McConaughey?
That's season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
And Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Season 1 is him.
Yeah. Okay.
Season 1 was deep.
Colin Farrell
was the best one so far.
The first one was
okay.
Season 1 was
all right.
deep.
Continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to answer that question. I'll react to it. I just needed other people to do it too.
Yeah, everybody said the same thing.
Hold up.
Season 2 was, man.
Really?
You know what it was?
That's what I heard.
Because season 1 was so good, they fell to the they didn't just try hard. They didn't try hard too. They would try hard with a vengeance. And it lacked.
I guess I'll find out.
Oh yeah. So
you'll like it.
All right, continue with Shazam. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what they can't do
That
now.
wasn't it. It wasn't that. It was
That's what they can't do now. But yeah, everything we fell in love with that first movie was like scrubbed away. It was like even the main character who we saw grow became very more childlike as far as like being like a kid and not in that, oh yeah, I'm witty and naive. It's like I don't want to go, but it's like what happened to all the growth that we had? And everybody else was growing up. And I understand what his like apprehension was as far as like, oh, things are changing. But why did that have to change the outcome? Why did that have to change the direction of this movie? Because I thought I was watching Aquaman because I never seen something go down in the sea so quickly
Damn.
than this motherfucking movie. It was not good at all.
nope.
I know people were saying shit about Black Adam, but Black Adam was amazing
I dug it.
compared to that shit. That shit was garbage.
All right. Well, how do we fix it?
How do we fix it? 1, 2, and 3. All the gods that came up were great actresses and award-winning actresses. And I was just wondering why the direction was so bad. I understand they had to be larger than life characters, gods, but why weren't they written like that? They were camp. They were like junior Rita Repulsas from freaking from Power Rangers. It
I
was
ain't gonna
like
front. Yeah.
it was like Goldar, Rita, and whatever the hell else the other people would call. It was like what? But this is a Shazam movie. The magic had no stakes. It was a whole bunch of stuff that happened
Mhm.
towards the end. Let's rally together and fight these things that we have no. I'm like, what are we doing? Why is this? This isn't where we left off. My thing is, everybody's growth should have stayed the same. Billy's conundrum with growing up and things changing shouldn't have lasted so long. They shouldn't have had him regress as a character because if that was the case, what was the point of all the freaking growth that he had in the first one?
Right.
So he should have had that moment of things changing. He should have been upfront with stuff a little sooner, and then maybe the movie wouldn't have lacked. Freddie had his moments where he was being, oh yeah, I'm trying to be this dude, and it's annoying. Like, granted, even their whole being called the fiascos was like, okay, but they don't have it together. But how did things go so wrong from them having it together in that moment when they were superheroes into this? And I understand it's to play upon the whole superhero team, how everybody's got it together, like in the Avengers. But why did it have to be that way the entire movie? For a certain portion of the movie and everybody getting better, that would have been something. If they fucked up on one point, they should have been able to grow together as a team, even by themselves. And even the whole thing with the meeting Shazam, that could have been such a better moment when they reconnected with him. And then he could have basically gave him a pep talk about his brothers and having his family and them not being there, and for them to reconnect, and maybe even that power would be even greater than it was rather than what we got. It was, I would like to say there was something redeemable about it, but yeah, as far as fixing it, they needed to fortify the characters, the family, and focus on that. I felt like the freaking adopted parents had more screen time this time, but said more of nothing than when they had no lines. They should have built on that, built on family. And I know it's a trope that now everybody says family because of Fast and the Furious and all that shit. But
I
guess
mean,
what?
they had Dame Judi Dench in the movie.
Yeah, but
And they even mentioned the Fast and the Furious.
true, but the thing is, I'm talking about like we have a movie that's rounded about family and glows and growing together, but we didn't have any of that family shit that we should have had to build the bonds that we made in the first movie. So what they needed to do was focus on that, focus on Billy getting over his bullshit, and not take a whole movie to figure it out.
Mhm.
And then that definitely would have fixed a whole bunch of what happened in this movie because it was basically Billy was whining, why is everybody leaving? Like, bro, because you ain't grown up and you know what you got to do.
Okay.
That's
You're a
exactly
bitch.
what I was gonna say. He didn't really grow up as a character.
No, he didn't.
Continue.
All right, that's it for me. Somebody else. What would you do to
Later,
fix
Dennis.
this movie? Later, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis, thank you for coming.
What was that?
So, what would you say? Anybody else who saw Fury of the Gods?
I like their.
I'm
I took a hard pass on it.
Did
I'm
yourself a
gonna be
favor.
honest. When it came out on Max, I kind of fell asleep on it like 3 times,
Oof.
As you should.
and I don't normally do that when it comes to like superhero movies. But that one just really,
Me too.
I couldn't even get past. I couldn't even get past the first act.
Oh yeah, I did pass out
It happened.
twice. You just reminded me. I fell asleep twice.
I did too. Yeah.
And I was I was really like wanting to see why people didn't like it the way didn't like it the way they liked the first one. But you're kind of your explanation kind of it tells me why in a way, because just from what I saw, I immediately knew. I was like, the main character has not changed at all. He hasn't grown up to the character that he's supposed to be. Yes, even though he's a kid, sure, but the thing is, he needs to learn. He needs to learn from the mistakes that he's made, and kind of grow into the man that his hero is in a way. Wow, you just went dark again. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I did.
Oh my. Oh my.
Whatever you-
So, Roundhouse, did you see it?
I saw it and
What would you change?
I a lot. I would.
I mean, that's a given.
I would actually change the way Billy was. Right. Like the whole thing is he finally get to see
I'm
his mother.
sorry, but Sir Wednesday looks like he's in witness protection.
No, when you saw the movie, did you instantly regret what you were watching?
Show us on the paper where you saw it.
Well, for me, it was this. One, Billy didn't really get to grow up the way he should have in the movie. Also, two, um, like the whole thing with him seeing his mom again and like thinking that he lost his mom when he realized that she didn't want him. She didn't want him. Like he realized he realized that she didn't want him in the first movie, and he has a family. That that should have aged him up a little bit, like made him a little more tougher skin, right? Not like and Shazam himself was just too carefree for me. Like he was just like all over the place. And
Right.
this whole, romantic love that he has with Wonder Woman, just like
It's more of a crush.
yeah,
I saw
I get it.
the little post credit scene.
Yeah, I
thing.
get it. Also, too, I do think that he was.
Was there a better movie in the post credit scene?
Damn. Um,
I think so.
the other thing too is with Freddy trying to be all big and bad and everything like that. I was just like, all right, bro, like I get it. You got legs, you can move, you can fly, you can do all this stuff. So I get it, but I definitely wanted more from Billy and more of him being older, like more of the responsible Shazam. You supposed to have the wisdom of Solomon. You didn't have no wisdom for half of the fucking movie. You was dumb as fuck.
Mm.
Like if we can compare him, I know it's a cartoon, but if we compare him to the Shazam that we have in Young Justice, complete opposites. Like night and day, literally. Like if you look at Shazam from Young Justice, he knows when to get serious.
Mm-hmm.
He knows like I'm gonna be serious. Like I'm gonna do everything in my power to because his idol is Superman. That's the other thing too. The way the first movie ended with Superman being at the school, you would think he'd be a little bit more, like have that I need to what was Superman do in this situation type of mindset.
Right. Have that sense of urgency.
Yeah,
Mm.
which in Young Justice we have that in Young Justice and Justice League we had that, right? Justice League Unlimited, sorry, we had that, but in a live action Shazam movie, we don't get any of that. So it kind of it was kind of it's
Disappointing.
it's very disappointing. Very disappointing. I like the fact we got to see more of the family, but it was just disappointing. Also, too, you introduced a villain and at the end of the first movie, but but don't recap on that at all. He's one of the major villains of Shazam, but we don't like. There's no inkling of him. There's nothing him tampering like what There's no recap of that. There's nothing like to call back to that at all. So it was very much missed. Like it was, oof, yeah. And I like Dame Duty Dench and like as a god,
I-
but my
Helen
issue
Mirren.
is
Helen Mirren.
oh well, sorry, yeah, I said Dame Duty Dench. They look alike anyway.
Oh, good.
Not at all. One has a round face. One has a slim face.
Whatever, I don't count their faces. They old. Anyway, anyway, the thing that bugs me the most is with the gods like Lucy Liu and Marin. Like I was like, what gods are these? Who are they related to? Like,
Good question.
like who they father? Like some type of like connection, right? Because we
You
already
know why they? You know why they probably put them in there to stretch the storytelling until they get to the final big bad, which is stupid because he has other villains that are more noticeable.
yes,
Indeed.
yes. Even some of uh Black Adam's villains are the same.
They dropped the ball with that.
They did.
That's the part that right there is the part that I would have changed about this entire movie. I would have took those two out of the equation early on and introduced Black Adam in like the end of the second
Yep.
second act
Yep,
and throughout the entire third act.
yep. I would have did the same
Because
thing.
then you would have shown, if I can quote Dwayne Johnson, the hierarchy of power changing.
True, true. No, you're right.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make this guy an anti-hero because he didn't want to be a bad guy. Fuck yourself, bro.
Well, and Black
Like,
Adam
come
is
on.
an anti-hero. He is an anti-hero.
No. I get that. But in the beginning, he wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was just like, oh, word, oppose my power, die.
pretty much.
Like, okay, if we want to be real,
Be
he
real.
was an anti-hero the entire time. It's just that he was looked upon as the villain all the time
Because he killed.
by like people like in his own movie, the Justice Society.
hmm
Right.
I'm gonna talk about that movie too. But we'll get to that later. But since I haven't seen this movie, that is honestly the one thing that, or I haven't finished watching it. I guess I gotta really force myself to watch it. Do I have to force myself to watch it?
You can come watch it with me. I'll feed you food and we can watch
That ain't gonna do
Okay,
nothing.
at
but
least
put
I'll be
both y'all
entertained.
motherfuckers sleep.
it. Yeah.
No,
We're like, let's turn on
I'm
the
not gonna
movie.
feed him chicken.
No, you know why? You know why I won't fall asleep? Because Roundhouse, if it's a if he knows that it's a fucked up movie or it's a boring movie, he keeps me entertained. Because he be shitting on it, fucking Mystery Science Theater style.
That nigga gonna be asleep too.
I mean, he might,
Nah.
but
I had to be stoned
that's
for
what I
X-Men
would have
last night.
changed. I would have had those women,
Mm.
those sorceresses. Yeah.
There we go.
Gods.
I would have had them in a way try to kind of not I don't want to say resurrect because he wasn't dead,
Right.
but bring Black Adam in and try to control him. and then
Ooh.
it would have gone totally bad, and he would have killed them both.
I
That's
see.
that's the way I would have went with it. And of course, yeah, I love Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren too, but they weren't memorable characters. Number one, and I can't even blame it on them. It's the writing.
Correct.
Yep.
And as much as I love,
And directing.
the Writers Guild and all that stuff, there are good writers and there are bad writers.
I agree.
Period.
Indeed, there are.
Like just I told several people that I was like, listen, I can give my opinion on who's a bad writer and who's not. I mean, because it's my opinion. I am not a professional writer, but neither are critics.
Yeah.
And they give their professional opinion on what they think is good and what they think is bad. Only difference is they get paid for that. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I can give two shits of what anybody says to me.
Speaking of shit, I don't need to be a doctor to know that shit smell bad. But shit
Yes,
smell bad.
correct. So when I tell somebody that the way the structure of the movie was, number one, just going by what I saw, just from the first act alone, I was bored to tears in the first 20 minutes. And normally when it comes to the first 20 minutes of a movie, that's when you know it's a make or break.
Yes.
Like, for instance, the Batman, that first 20 minutes of that movie, from the beginning where what's the name is all murders the mayor, all the way to when he goes to all the way to when he's monologuing about the city. That full 20 minutes caught my eye so much.
But you got to
But
also think
then you
about it.
do, but
It was
then
also DCE. It wasn't the DC, It seems that most of those movies do well when it's not part of the
standalone
DC.
ones.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
standalone.
standalone
Yeah,
ones.
it's true. You
Yeah.
know why? Because they're not restricted by continuity or something like that. They take a platform. Hear me out. They're
Mm-hmm.
not restricted by continuity. Look at the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, he met Bruce Wayne as a kid. Apparently, him and Bruce Wayne are brothers
Well,
in the Joker.
Well, they played at it, but they weren't.
they weren't.
No, yeah, like I said, they kind of play with it, but that's the thing. They're not all about when it comes to those standalone movies. They don't deal with continuity of the full on,
Universe.
big picture universe. They deal with small stories, and they have some liberties with it. Personally, I feel when it comes to a lot of these DC movies, they play it too close to the chest. I feel that they should go a little bit wild with it.
You
You
mean with
know,
the DCEU?
I'm just talking before the gun era starts,
Okay.
which he already said it doesn't start until he does his
Superman.
creature commandos.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about the current regime right now that's ending
Oh,
or
it's
dead
ended.
That
It's
was it.
or
over.
dead, I
Blue
should
Beetle
say.
is it. And
Yeah,
speaking of Blue
true.
Beetle, that's the next fucking movie we come out. Now,
Yeah,
even though, did everybody else see Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
I have
I
not.
did.
It's good. It's
I
I enjoyed
hear
it.
it's good, but I heard it flopped in the theater.
They wanted it to flop.
Of
That's
course
what it
they did.
was. They wanted it to flop.
um
Why pump more into a fucking universe that's dying?
Correct. And someone said that to me too. They was all like, "Yo, they're hyping up guns so much. Nothing against gun, but they're hyped. I mean, Gunn was promoting his vision. Fans were loving it, and then they're like, "Fuck anybody. What's the whole point of watching anything else before that?"
Right.
yeah.
My thing about Blue
Indeed.
Beetle, it wasn't now not to compare it to these other movies that we'll get to, is there was beats about it that didn't land because they weren't done right. A
Right.
lot of the family stuff should have been better. Like with his pops, I didn't feel it like he should have felt it because they didn't play it correctly.
Mm.
Even the whole Mufasa, Simba, Black Panther shit they were trying to do didn't hit because they didn't even hit. Motherfucker, if you didn't say this nigga was having a heart attack, we didn't feel it like niggas didn't feel it from his emotions going on with everything. And it's like, okay, we got the little abuela jokes, which was great, but it's like, give us a little bit of that beforehand. Hey, what's the name? What's the name? Cease and desist. I'm fucking
Oh,
done.
those-
Well done. Well done.
uh,
Well
la-
done.
Shit.
ladies and gentlemen, they, them, you.
That is
We
perfect for tonight.
we have man has a
Mm.
nickname, Mr. Cease and Desist.
You gotta go hard.
Welcome, welcome,
Nice.
Welcome, guy.
Welcome, welcome.
welcome.
Yeah.
What up, man?
What's going on?
Nothing. Just finally taking it down.
Understood.
Long day today.
I bet. Did you see Blue Beetle?
I did. I enjoyed it actually.
I enjoyed it as
Same.
well. But did you hear what I was talking about? Like certain beats they didn't do well upon, and they should have
Yeah.
as far as the family stuff, the community stuff was lacking. They should have fixed both of those things, and it would have been a much tighter movie.
I think what it was that they put all their whatever they had. They put all their monkeys in a barrel. They were getting ready to fucking just go all out with this, and then James Gunn was like, "Hold on, chill. Let's try to re-edit this real quick."
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We want to make it look good, so people can be excited, but this is potentially going to flop, and it did. But
Unfortunately.
it's crazy because there's so many people that actually saw it that were like, "Yo, this is fucking dope." But I think that it was meant for them to do that so that way they can use that as an official reboot. This is the same thing with like the Flash as well. You know what I'm saying? The Flash was fucking terrible, but they used it to kind of like reset shit. So whether we're gonna still get the same Barry or not, or I really don't care for Ezra Miller. As,
No,
Nobody does.
Nobody does,
You know,
even though that nigga got paid twice apparently.
But like, I don't. But I just don't care for him as an actor.
I don't care
Not
for
even
him
as a person. Fuck as a person. He sucks as an actor.
Yeah.
I didn't care for him as Barry. He's not Barry to me.
I didn't even know what he did before.
He buried his
the
career,
Justice League
though.
Movie.
In a flash.
Oh, man.
Gee.
Nice.
But so Echo, I agree with you. What he did before was Fantastic Beasts. That's how I remember him.
Perks of being a wallflower.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's how I remember him.
Yeah, but you know what? That was good writing.
That directing too. But the thing is that with him, like, are we moving on to the Flash movie, or are we moving on? We can move.
Anybody else want to talk about Blue Beetle? Because it was just me.
Oh, well,
I mean,
again, I have not seen it.
Oh, you
but-
haven't seen it.
Okay.
Black
No, I
Caesar saw
haven't seen
though.
it.
Yeah.
But I have a statement that follows cease and desist. I feel that that Warner Brothers might, even though they know and they set it up to flop in a way, they might still keep the actor.
Which I'm happy about.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm fine for that.
Because think about it. People like him who shows promise and what oh god, what's her name? Sasha.
Oh, you're talking about
Like
Supergirl. Yeah.
He's just talking about like overall all the
And
good
people like
parts.
her, like little people, like little cat actors like that. It's like they can pick and choose in these mediocre movies that they already set to flop who they want to keep, who they want to get rid of.
Well,
type
Gunn
thing.
said, or he's keeping the actor who played Blue Beetle and Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Well, as far as I know, it hasn't been confirmed with her. I haven't heard about
yeah,
him, but I haven't heard anything about her yet. She's still to this day saying that they hope they call her back.
I
And
You
she
like.
know,
did great. Even though she was in the movie for not too long, she was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I believed it. I
Well,
believed she was Supergirl,
Oh
and she
yeah,
was hot as
yeah.
hell.
yeah.
very.
I
So
So
felt that too. Like especially when the fact she when she realized like getting her powers and stuff like that, and just like the emotion behind it. I felt all of that. What'd you do with him? Like, cause she remembers Kal-El as a baby. At this time, he would be older, right? Because we also don't know how long she's been captive,
Oh
right?
yeah,
yeah, for as long as they arrived, because remember she was older. But
Yeah.
before we jump into Superman, I want to get the final thoughts of Black Caesar, since he was the
yeah.
only other
Sorry, go
person
ahead,
that saw
Black.
it.
Sorry.
And he's frozen.
Is he frozen?
Yeah.
Damn it, Barry Allen! It was Barry Allen who did it. He went to the past and he changed everything. That
Oh
motherfucker.
wait, he's unfrozen.
Yes,
There he goes.
go for it, Caesar.
And he's
Motherfucker.
God damn it.
frozen.
You know what's
You
hilarious?
had a good.
This whole time he was fine. Now we gotta get with it.
Oh.
Damn it. I guess we'll have to
Anyway,
come back to Caesar.
go ahead. Let's just until he gets.
Go back to Caesar. The only other last thing I have to say about Blue Beetle is, as I know they were playing it for a joke, the whole "oh yeah, I'm getting this nigga's name wrong." But the one thing I did see was when this nigga realized, oh, this bitch is the enemy. I'm gonna go take this Karen to the manager and blow up her shit, because that's exactly what the fuck she was, some fucking over aggressive Karen. Then he's like, oh yeah,
Word.
I'm gonna blow your shit up, bitch. I'm gonna take you to the manager right now. but but other than that, it was good. And the one nitpicky thing, when the sister was spray painting on the fucking Beetle mobile or whatever the fuck you call it, how the fuck you did one graffiti pass with one fucking spray? Suck my dick. Keep it going. You did that whole tag with different colors with one spray bottle. What they
Yeah.
got? Instant graffiti? Kiss my ass.
It's Jet Set Radio, bro.
Yeah, for real. Carry on. Let's go down to our, I
You
guess,
know,
our last DC thing. Oh, he's back. Is
Hey,
he in the
back.
movie?
yeah, yeah, I hope so. Am I?
Come on.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. So yeah, man. Blue Beetle is probably going to be the last DC thing I enjoy, since yeah, I'm not banking on Aquaman, not even one bit. Um, I like the representation of, like, heroes of color. I mean, we've been getting a lot of that this year. So with Miles in him. So I thought it was a good take, and yeah, you're right. Maybe it should have been more like unified in terms of like family. I mean, I didn't really like feel it in certain instances, but but for the most part, it was enjoyable. I liked it. Zolo did his thing. He had me sold. I'm down for him being Jamie again, and of course, I love George Lopez. Who doesn't love him? He was perfect as like the wacky screwball uncle.
I
But
heard
then
the abuela stole the show.
yeah,
They all do every time.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, he was a big help for that in an Uncle Aaron kind of sense. Yeah, man, I think it's yeah, at best for me maybe it's a B grade movie. It's totally B.
Okay, I'll take a B
So,
over
yeah.
the bullshit of the Flash, which is what we're
Next,
jumping into now.
Yeah, that's right. No time when the Crips beat the blood. Pow.
a big F for Flash called "Fucked Up Movie."
It had
Exactly.
promise, and then it let us down, like a father coming back after he's saying he's gonna get cigarettes.
Ah,
God damn.
They said
well,
this is gonna be the
only thing.
best superhero movie ever. I'm like, it
Now,
could have been.
may I go first
Go
with
for it.
what I would change? Okay, so number one, I would I would keep the route of him changing. The number one thing of changing his mom's death and all this other stuff. But I don't like double the two different Barry Allens.
Ugh,
Because personally, it makes no flipping sense.
If you're getting
sure
double
doesn't.
checks, you just
Because if it's a, I know what they tried to do. They tried to do a different universe. Well, fucking DC on DC whatchamacallit, animated and the fucking comics already told you don't have to do that. You don't have to put another fucking Barry in there
Really don't.
because the one that already took that spot is already there. You just complicate things by adding another Barry.
Yeah.
But if they did, I thought that they should have had somebody like they should have really introduced um Reverse Flash in this.
Agreed. Yes.
They
yes.
Agreed.
broke it. They dropped the ball with that one because it's like you still trying to answer the question. Well, who killed your mom?
Right.
Nobody still knows that shit. That shit is still up in the air.
Mystery.
So so it's like I like the fact that he goes back, but he should go back and not be affected by having another one there. He should have gotten uh pulled out prematurely out of out of the Speed Force, and then I honestly think he should have kind of been in a way dropped off like in front of his house and shit like he did, but and then somebody just like how the comics and started because I'm going back to the comics. Normally, I'm not like and trust me, Sir Wednesday, I'm not trying to be
Purist.
purist with this.
I know.
It's just the beginning
Put your
of
hand down.
how
Didn't
the
you say you had to
story
go somewhere?
starts. The beginning of how the story starts works perfectly from how the comics and the animated series and the animated show or movie showed it. But what we should have did instead of having a retired Batman, I think we should have had Michael Keaton as the ultra violent version of his Batman from '89.
Okay.
Well, how do you think Gotham got the way it did? That nigga definitely killed everybody. That's why that nigga said, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." He got nuts and killed everyone.
But then, like you threw Zod in there, which I understand why you threw Zod in there because they brought it back to the time where he came in and all that other stuff. But what about the other people? Like there were other heroes there at the time.
There were.
Well, Wonder
Now they
Woman would
don't
have
have
been
to
on a
work together or
hiatus.
whatnot. But honestly, I really to get to the point, I really think Reverse Flash was the biggest missed opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Like he was really the catalyst of why things went the way they did, even though he didn't do it himself. Because in the end, it was Barry who basically screwed everything up. He's just along for the ride type thing. And with missing that opportunity, that whatever they called him, Dark Flash thing was just
Dark. They called him Dark Flash, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
He was like that nigga was like Zoom.
Basically,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But
Grim Reaper
it's
version.
give Reverse Flash, bro. It's so much more richer story with that character and
Absolutely.
Barry.
they
Yeah.
probably would have had to They would have to give him an origin
Here's my
better
thing.
than what he got in the. They would have to basically, since we know Barry to that degree, they would have to have made this whole nigga and then basically, not reintroduce, introduce him. Period. And then would that have taken a little longer? Yes, but the whole let's get this. This is the thing that pissed me off, time travel wise. So this nigga left. He came back. His life is different. There's another him. Makes sense because the him that he's supposed to be isn't supposed to exist anymore. So that's the time travel thing, which is time travel. And then they tried to do multiverse. And I'm like, well, motherfucker, make up your mind. Is it time travel and multiverse?
Right.
That was
Mm.
their big fucking thing.
And
And what we should have had besides, oh, we need to get you your powers because if you don't get struck by lightning, I don't do this. But newsflash, stupid, you fucking already did it, so you shouldn't even have powers. They
Right.
should have. They should have made it better by having this nigga's powers dissipate, and he's
yes,
slowly losing it, so he can only do certain things. And then when he goes to try and fix it, like okay, another dumb shit. Not since the dumbness of our boy Cedric Diggory from Harry Potter, where when you know something's pointing at you, you're like the reason I brought up Cedric Diggory is because one, you're a known wizard, you know all the spells. When someone's pointing the killing curse at you, why the fuck are you standing there and let it happen like a deer in the headlights? Stupid motherfucker, you should duck. Now, the reason why I brought that up is because you knew this shit was gonna shock you or shock the Barry that's the new you. And you're standing in the fucking way of the goddamn chemicals
Mm.
that are supposed to create you, the Flash. Why wouldn't you think this shit would neutralize you? Fuck you. Stupid. Dumb. But I understand they needed it so the movie could progress.
but remember, he's the fastest man alive, not the smartest man.
But the thing is,
Mm.
that's the problem. He's a forensic scientist.
Yep.
So
I know.
this is the thing that pissed me off about their Barry Allen is the fact that is the nigga smart or is he dumb?
Well.
Is
Well,
he dumb or is he smart? You
also,
gotta pick a lane.
also too,
Facts.
I do think that what they did was they took liberties from the TV show. What we got was Savitar Part Two. That's all he looked like.
Mm.
Yeah, he
That's
was
all
Sab-
it was.
he was
That's all
Sabbath
we
he was
got.
Sabazoom. He was Sabazoom. He
Yeah,
was
But but
Sabassar
but
Zoom.
but that's what we got.
but
We got
here's the
Savitar.
but here's the thing. Even the TV show did it better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the
Well,
problem.
here's the thing with the
And an
TV show.
animated
They
movie.
had time though
They had
too.
That's
time
true.
to
Mhm.
get to that.
So did Barry Allen. But he fucked it up.
But I feel like what they did with the Flash was there were so many things that they were trying to decide to do,
Too many.
plus reshoots and re-edits and all that stuff because of all the bullshit that was going on, and then the changing of power in DC and the changing of power in Warner Brothers and all this other crazy shit.
Yeah.
It went through too many hands and too many times of just
That's
being
true.
over edited and reshot just so they can try to fix things because it was supposed to be a lot more, and what we got was just something that they had to piece together because they had already spent an insane fucking budget on it because all these other characters were supposed to be in the film. However, they couldn't add any of the other Justice League members because of all the bullshit that's been going on.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they reshot it, I mean, it makes perfect sense. The writing itself was fucking garbage. That's what killed me the most.
Yeah, I
Is it
know.
a watchable movie? Yeah, if you're not paying attention to the writing. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking superhero
You're
movie.
right.
Cool. I don't
He's
have a
right.
problem with the film itself. I have a problem with the fucking writing. The writing was so garbage. I felt like it was written by a second grader.
Might as well have been.
But here's just my final thing on this movie. Michael Keaton kept me watching it,
Of course. We all
All
watch
of us.
and Sasha kept me glued to the screen. I felt bad every time she fucking died.
It had its moments. That
It
was
did,
almost
yeah.
gonna be my screen name today. Michael Keaton's bat nipple.
You stupid.
Oh,
That nipple.
speaking of bat nipples,
Mm.
I hate the fact that they changed the fucking ending.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
What was the original
They,
ending?
I mean, they had to,
The original
unfortunately.
ending was supposed to have Michael Keaton
Be Batman.
as Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Sasha was supposed to come down as Supergirl, and that was supposed to start up the Batgirl movie because it was in now that new universe.
Right.
Oh,
But they added fucking George Clooney as a goddamn joke.
Yeah, thought it was funny, and this nigga's tooth fell off. I said my brain fell out, but they didn't show that part of the movie.
all right.
But that's
So
enough for me with this
I'm
movie.
just gonna
This
say how
movie pissed
we're
me
gonna
off.
fix it. One, they should introduce Reverse Flash.
Mhm.
The movie should have started out with introducing Reverse Flash off the top, right? Um, Flash Museum, all that stuff. They should have started off with that.
Too soon.
Or Zoom. I think who's in the future, Zoom or is it Reverse Flash?
It's
Both.
Reverse Flash.
There's
Well,
been
both
other
of them, really.
zooms. That's the thing. There's been other zooms. That's why.
Okay. Well,
Too
whoever's
many.
in the future.
But the original Zoom, Professor Zoom, aka Reverse Flash, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so they can start off the movie with him and having the Flash Museum and him trying to replicate Barry's the incident and all that stuff. They should start off the movie with that, and then go from there.
I would start with
This is just how I'm doing it. This is just how I say I want it. How to fix it.
no. I get you.
So let me finish.
Then
That's how I think they should just start off with that, and then go from there. And after that, I don't think the second Barry is needed. I think they should introduce more characters. It's at least like something that was like Zod being there was fine, but I think they should have had more heroes or heroes that are villains now. They should have just flipped it on them, like flipped it like Aquaman's a villain or Wonder Woman's a villain or stuff like that. They should have had a little bit more than just Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, and better writing.
That would be what's that Flashpoint.
Yes.
yeah, but then
Okay.
they would. But the thing is, they would have to show why these niggas became.
Nah, you
evil.
don't.
No, you don't.
You already. Here's the thing: these characters are well established already. Even if you decide to start from fresh, what I would do is I would start with I would start with a crisis event because the crisis event led to the worlds merging and a lot of the superheroes meeting each other at that one point.
Oh, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
So
That's true.
I would start with that so that way you're not doing a whole multiverse thing until there you go deeper into the multiverse.
That
They
makes
wanted
sense.
to lead to that event
Or you
originally.
do a slight multiverse event and then you show a few characters and now you can start branching off and putting everybody else in their own respective films.
It's funny. The original plan was, and I know Roundhouse. We gotta move on to Marvel, but the original plan originally was to end the Snyderverse with the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right.
That was the original plan,
They would have fucked that up.
but shit didn't go so well, and there you go. Bob's your uncle, and have a nice day.
They would have fucked that up.
Yeah. Crisis with Infinite Writers.
That's exactly the problem. That's why they stroke. They put the strike.
All right, gentlemen. Moving
Quick
on.
question: one honorable mention from the DC side,
Okay.
but we won't get into it because I found out after watching John Bernthal's podcast, David Ayer went on there and basically got real honest about how there was an original cut for the Suicide Squad, and they fucked up his entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily, he actually has a copy of the original, and hopefully he'll get the same treatment as our boy Zack Snyder, and we could see the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad, which he says is a totally different movie than what the fuck we got.
Oh, yeah.
The original Suicide Squad?
Yeah, the original Suicide Squad.
Oh,
he
'cause
said it was a totally
garbage.
different movie, and that they not only changed the tone of the movie, they also, hired the people who did the trailer to edit the movie, and they kind of froze him out of the editing bay.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
So hopefully we'll get an air cut, because I was going to talk about that movie, but once I saw that podcast, I was like, you know what? Justice will be done. It was justice was done with for Zack Snyder. Hopefully, David Ayer will get justice as
I
well.
watched that same podcast, dude, and I thought I was thinking the same thing.
I'll send y'all the link so that y'all can see what he's talking about, and be like, "Yo, that's wild."
Yes, and
But
that link,
And John Bernthal's show is great too.
oh yeah,
so.
it is. Yep, the
But
real ones.
Marvel, let's
Marvel.
go.
all
I-
right. Moving on, gentlemen. All right. We've seen TV shows, we've seen movies. I would say everything leading up to, you know what? I'll start at the point. Phase 4. Let's just start with Phase 4.
Get rid of it.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Wait a minute, let me finish.
Just say
Phase
it.
4.
I'm sorry.
Right? Phase 4. So after Endgame, from after Endgame until where we are now and beyond,
the
how
multiverse.
would you fix it? Which mean is Phase 4? Which is,
So you mean phase 4 and 5? Because we're in phase 5 right now.
are we?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, 5. That's right.
Five.
Because Wakanda Forever was
4 ended with Wakanda Forever.
that was the beginning of it, apparently.
Oh,
Phase
Yeah,
5.
with whatever.
You got it. Who wants to go first?
I'll let somebody else go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Go first.
So
Keep going. I'll be right back.
I wouldn't change the shows. The shows have been pivotal for pretty much all of them. The only one that I didn't get myself into was what was it, Secret Invasion. I didn't really get into that one. Like, it didn't catch my attention.
Secret Invasion was ass.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
The Captain Falcon show.
Oh,
Falcon
Falcon
and
Winter Soldier?
Falcon and Winter Soldier, yes. So that, I mean, it dragged a bit, but it got to where it needed to get to. So
Sure.
it had a good follow through, and it finished strong. But it could have been a lot stronger in the very beginning, because these are two pretty much great characters that we got. But we got more background than anything else, which is kind of cool, because we didn't get that during the films, besides maybe Bucky's information. But we also got a little taste of what happened with him in Wakanda, so that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Loki wouldn't change it for nothing. Season 2 is about to come out, right?
October.
Yeah, next month. Yeah.
Comic-Con week.
I don't fucking waiting for that shit.
Ditto.
October 2nd, I believe, right?
They need another win.
Doctor Strange was a little weird. I
strange myself.
It had its moments, but there was certain things that I didn't catch, or I didn't like really, like the whole shit with Scarlet Witch, like that kind of threw me off a little bit. But again, it followed through, and it got to its point, which made sense. I like that they also tied in the What If show.
Yeah, that was great.
You know what I'm saying? Not so many people caught that. But they did tie in the What If show. And I'm waiting for season 2 of that.
Yep.
There's not much that would change besides fucking Ant-Man. You could that movie was a wash.
You mean Kane?
Quantumania.
What?
Quantumania.
Quantumania, yeah, Ant-Man. That shit was trash.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was so that would be the one you said that was trash. Okay.
Yeah, I would get rid of it. I mean, I don't see the need for any of it. Yeah, they showed us they finally showed us Kang the Conqueror, and they showed his strength. But they didn't really show too much of him until they started showing all the different types of Kangs. I feel like we're gonna get a lot more information in season 2 of Loki, which that is going to make the series start to turn up from there. We're still waiting on
I think they should have just introduced him in.
Well, they did.
No, I mean, like, they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I get you. I think we're gonna get a more psychotic version of Kang in this one, because he's emperor in whatever he's ruler of whatever timeline they're in right now. That's how they
Oh,
end. That's how they ended.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
All right.
we're gonna see a little more of that. And I think the Marvels is gonna turn around anything that people have been feeling about any of those characters.
true.
I feel like this movie is going to set the tone for the rest of the fucking
Phases.
phase. Yeah.
Basically, all those Brie Larson haters.
I think this. I mean,
Oh
I
god.
think I saw what one or two trailers,
Mhm.
and each trailer just looks like it's getting better and better. You're gonna see more powers from Miss Marvel. You're gonna see um fucking what's her face.
Monica Rambo.
She comes back.
Photon.
You're gonna see all her fucking powers. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I'm just waiting on those. I for the most part I wouldn't change much. I probably would just get rid of Ant-Man, or definitely fix it, because that CGI was trash.
Eh,
Okay.
yeah.
Can I go? Because I got a lot. Just want to
Actually, Caesar, you got something before because I know you're gonna have a lot, and I only got my things are too quick.
get. Okay.
But
Okay.
what you got, Caesar?
Same.
You got
My
anything?
things are really quick too.
Yeah. Well, just want to start off by saying I'm going to cut Marvel some slack, man, because
Mhm.
Infinity Saga was a hard act to follow. All right. So I understand with the whole superhero fatigue thing. I mean, that I can't imagine how exhausted that must have been for Endgame. That was a lot, a
Yeah.
hell of a lot. And the Russos did that shit flawlessly. It was brilliant from start to finish. I mean, there were a few little quips here and there, but they really rounded it out with all the characters, which is one of their biggest strengths. Connection, man. Marvel has big connections with their characters. They got unity. Some DC don't got. So that is like a real advantage, one of many advantages that they have.
Facts.
Yeah. As for the multiverse saga, yeah, it's on this. It's on a slow crawl at the moment. I mean, I love Kang. I got no issues with Jonathan Majors. He does this thing. He just really hasn't had a chance to shine yet, but obviously it's
Oh yeah.
developing. It's not like Thanos where he's being teased, being behind the scenes all the time. You know,
Right.
I mean, like he's
Mm.
really out in the open. Like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm here. Your whole world, yeah, your whole world is about to get fucked. So get ready for me, all of me. So in that perspective, I'd say the things to make the shows better, or the shows and the movies. I'd say maybe budgeting might be an issue with the effects. And not to mention it's really time constricted with a lot of scenes. So sometimes it takes like months and years to finish. I mean, I get it. There are going to be delays. This strike doesn't
COVID
help.
screwed up everything.
Yep.
Yeah. And, of course, COVID and blase. I get it. Yeah. I mean, it can't be helped. Hard to make a film like when you're, lying sick. So, it's really, time is a factor. I mean, maybe we need to really like buckle down and think about a good solid strategy. And, back in the day, they were on point with maybe one or few little missteps, but now it's kind of half and half. You got some
Mhm.
good and some bad. So if we can find a way to maybe round that out, I think we'll be all right. Honestly.
Okay.
All right. So Wednesday, me or you?
I'm gonna keep it
We're
quick.
both quick, so
I'm gonna keep it quick.
go ahead.
As far as all the phases, the things that needed to change uh, are four instances as far as and they're TV and movie. One that needed to change was Doctor Strange. We could have had a better, and I understand because of COVID and everything. We needed a better consistent flow of the multiverse. I felt we touched on it, but we didn't get too much on it.
Got you.
And then that would have helped us into this multiversal journey because it was right after No Way Home, and No Way Home was great. It was
Yes.
fantastic. It was a good jumping board. So why is it that the movie about the multiverse to get us in there, because our taste was from Loki and everything expanded, the whole Wanda as a bad guy should have been something that was touched upon and shouldn't have been the whole movie. It
Mm,
should have been something that then she would help assist trying to make things right. It shouldn't have been the main focus of the whole movie. And that probably would have given us a better structure on jumping into the multiverse. Then, even though I don't know if it was sorry I stepped away, the Eternals. That should have
Uh,
been fucking done better.
yes.
As far as if you're talking about outer stellar fucking like beings from another world, they could have done that way better. Certain things could have been shaved, certain things could have been pushed in. I think that main thing of the movie was a pacing issue,
Mm.
not much of a story issue. And then yeah, that was the main thing with that, because then you want to talk about otherworldly shit because we're gonna have to travel off world pretty soon. The other ones that as far as the TV show aspect, well, of course, because it was the most recent and it was also the biggest letdown, Secret Invasion. Why the fuck did it take 6 episodes to tell us something that went nowhere? And we got one Dollar General Super Scroll that we got out of the fucking bunch. It wasn't bad enough that our boy Drizzy Drake was bodying motherfuckers, but he bodied two people that we really needed because and then after that,
He bought his own kind.
yeah, for what? For what? I understand you're angry.
Turned
What?
down for what?
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, his fucking motivations were weak. And for have a story based on Nick Fury, who's supposed to be, and I know he changed and everything, but it was supposed to have like made everything mean something, and it was basically it just left more breadcrumbs.
Mm.
And I'm like, I expected more from, especially since now we're going on like 10 plus years of the Marvel saga. This should have been better than that. Because even the Black Widow movie, which was a tie in between this time and that time, gave me much better than the Secret Invasion. I know that sounds fucked up, but it's true.
Mm.
And now we have to have the Marvel save whatever interstellar thing that we got going on. We'll fucking find out. I hope that's the case. And the only other TV show that I felt needed a better resolution than what we got was, even though it was a different type of show, it started off strong and ended up weak. And that for me was She Hulk. She Hulk could have done better as far as like bridging certain things, because we got this man went to Sikaar, and I know it was her main show, and eventually everything hit the fan. But that last episode was like, I get it, it's part of her universe, but they should have wrapped that up much better. And we had to fucking lose out on what 4 episodes of no post credit scene just to see that sad excuse for an ending. They should have fixed that. They should have made it connect to the universe even more. And yeah, that's my main thing for as far as Marvel and them doing it better. Everything else was okay. I usually have a gripe about Hawkeye, but you know what? It was as good as it was for what it was. The only thing that I had a complaint about that was fucking the Kingpin getting taken out the way he did by Kate Bishop and some rinkety trickety
Uh,
fucking 25-cent doodads that came out of a fucking gumball machine. Other than that, that's my story. I digress. They fixed those things. We're in a much better spot. Take it away, Echo Ninja, and then our boy Round of the House shall take us out.
Okay, so I know I said earlier that uh, the whole the, the whole Phase Four should be completely wiped out of existence, but I'm overly exaggerating. Um, for the most part, and this might sound a little bit controversial. For the
Go
most
ahead, bro.
part, um, Phase Four actually wasn't terrible, but the thing is, people's expectations were so high
Mm.
when it came to,
we're
but it's
That's
for
true.
good reason, because you force feed them these breadcrumbs leading to things that don't lead anywhere. For example,
Excuse me. Sorry.
WandaVision, when they talked about the astrophysicists and stuff like that,
Yep. Oh,
little
yeah.
breadcrumbs leading to nowhere. To be completely honest, when the first time they mentioned that, me and you, Roundhouse, we were like, Blue Marvel, please. Blue
yeah.
Marvel. It would make sense. It would have made perfect sense See, my whole thing with Phase 4 and Phase 5 are just adding and subtracting certain things. One or two things. WandaVision, it was good as it was for what it was. But that one little thing, if you could have added Blue Marvel in that, the Marvels itself
Oh,
would be crazy.
bro,
Oh
you gonna
yeah.
make me
And
cry.
honestly, you wouldn't even need Fury for that one.
Nope.
Absolutely
The
not.
only Fury I got was for that episode.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Now, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm gonna take a line from Black Caesar. I'm gonna give that thing some slack, even though it was my most anticipated show. Reason why is
ditto.
because it got so screwed over by the
COVID.
pandemic.
Yeah.
They had a storyline in there about people getting sick from a global pandemic,
Yeah. Mm.
which is why the Flag Smashers were put to light. But they had to scrap that whole thing.
Too close to the too close to
It was
the.
close.
Vessel.
They wanted to keep people away from that.
Mhm.
I understand that. I get it.
Also, too, like I would say, sorry, just not jumping. Like I guess the reason why they got away from it was because COVID fatigue. That was a real thing.
No, not even COVID fatigue. It's a COVID scare. They didn't want to have extra shit to be scared of in shit that they want to just kind of lose their mind out of from, you know? And and the thing is, Falcon and Winter Soldier had really good writing.
It did.
If there's one thing I have to give that show, it had really good writing. So
Strong
good,
finish.
so good to the point where it's like you could have added possibly one extra character in there.
The White Panther.
Well,
I couldn't resist.
well, I mean,
But
never mind.
the one extra character
Uh,
I'm talking about wouldn't really much be I guess a main hero in a way.
Mm.
He's kind of like he would kind of be like one of those background characters that are usually hanging around with the heroes a lot. But okay, so I like the fact that they had the storyline with the original, well, the successor of the original Captain America. I like how they had that in there.
Not in the government's eyes, he wasn't.
I'm talking about story wise. I'm not saying shut up. You didn't
But
open your
story-wise,
mouth for anyone else but me right now.
no,
Stop
I'm just
talking.
saying, story-wise too. If you look at it
I
story-wise,
know this already. We watched it with Chad. Remember?
War Machine.
So
oh,
anyway,
isn't it?
and then they had the Iron Patriot and stuff like that. Personally, I feel this would have been a good segue to put Iron. What's his? I'm not Iron Patriot. Um, what's his fucking name? Patriot. That kid, Elijah. The Elijah
Isaiah's-
Bradley.
Isaiah.
Isaiah
Yeah.
Bradley.
Oh,
Thank
no, you talking about his nephew? Yeah.
Yes.
Elijah, yeah.
I feel that they should have the whole storyline of the Super Soldier Serum.
Yep.
I feel it should have been almost to kin of, not exactly, and I hate mentioning this movie, X-Men Last Stand.
Kinda
Remember
like how they
X-Men Last Stand when they had the
distributing
cure?
Yeah.
yeah,
Got it.
temporary.
Now take the cure out and have the Flag Smashers. Let's just say if they kept the global pandemic storyline in there, have this Flag Smashers synthesize their own blood, super soldier blood, as a cure
Oh,
All right. Okay.
okay. I'm
for
following
as a
you.
cure
I'm
or
with you.
treatment for some of these what
I'm with you. I'm with
as
you.
a cure or treatment for some of these, for some of these symptoms and stuff like that. But then
You with me?
they start noticing that certain people are getting affected in different ways. You see where I'm kind of going with this?
Yeah.
Freeland.
I am.
Yep.
It's kind of introduced. She said Freeland. It's kind of
Na-na-na-na-na.
introducing how the Ultimate Comics did with the mutants. So it kind of puts that in the predicament a bit, and that would show, and then you'd kind of leave the whole point with the nephew taking it, because let's just say he got sick,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say he got sick somehow.
Mm.
But I feel that that storyline should have stayed in because it was such a strong. It could have gave a much stronger like continuation throughout other shows. Black Panther was good. It was a bit rushed, but it was good.
Indeed.
Um, I agree with Sir Wednesday when it comes to uh, She-Hulk. I feel that whatchamacallit, that black I'm sorry, that Multiverse of Madness
Mm.
should have been an 8-part series instead of a movie.
8 parts. Okay. That's
I dig it.
Because you could dive more deeply into the psyche of Wanda, why she does things, and all this other stuff. And like Sir Wednesday said, you cannot don't throw her in as a villain immediately. You can play with it a bit until it gets to a point where she makes that choice.
Yeah.
You know, because you just saw her
Agreed.
dabbling with the book
With the
at
Darkhold.
the end of WandaVision. You
so.
know,
Have her be tempted by the book to do bad things,
yes, like I said,
but not full on.
play with it, kind of like be tempted by the darkness of the book. But so yeah, and WandaVision introduced Blue Marvel, and Falcon and Winter Soldier introduced the whole mutant element. Um, and because that coincides with that would coincide with this broken government that's going on, and they don't know how to control this new epidemic that's happening now. And then you can introduce the fucking what's his face? God, what's that guy's name?
Read.
Gyrick in that.
Oh, Kyrick. Oh
You can
man, yeah,
introduce
he's a.
Gyrick in Falcon and Winter Soldier with that one.
Mm.
Um, like I said, She-Hulk, I completely agree everything what Sir Wednesday says. I feel that, and I feel that Ant-Man 3 didn't need to happen.
Mm.
Because honestly, I feel that they could have played with the whole mystery of King in the upcoming Loki, but they could have introduced him into something else. I feel. I just don't know what. Other than that, though,
Mm.
I mean, I don't know anything majorly that I want to change with everything else, but because I shadily like the Hawkeye. Go figure. and
Okay.
and
Lose my
I
number.
like what you say.
Lose my number.
I like Echo.
Echo was cool.
Echo was cool, but I was still waiting to see Echo from the comics. That's
No,
me.
I know. And
But
that's what they're going to do in the TV show if it ever gets here. But
As we
take it
should.
away,
Canceled.
Roundhouse.
all
Go
right,
for it, Roundhouse.
all right. So I'm gonna start off with
I'm going to knock you out.
uh, so I'm gonna start off with WandaVision. I'm really gonna try and go in order. So with WandaVision, the whole story premise and you're right, Blue Marvel would have been a great introduction, or even fucking Reed Richards.
Only reason why I didn't say Reed Richards is because, actually, you know what? That would have worked.
It would have worked. Yeah.
Would have
That
worked.
would have worked too.
Like even
And that would have gave us the Fantastic Four.
Don't they mention him though in it?
no,
Nope.
War Machine.
no, they don't mention him, and and an astrophysicist.
Oh, sorry, Roundhouse.
Yeah.
Just want to cut you off 1 quick second.
Good.
I changed my mind about Quantum Mania because the one thing they should have added at the end of Quantum Mania as a post-credit scene instead of after that whole Coliseum of Kangs
Mhm.
is having a ship crash land into what's it called?
Quantiverse.
No. What's that city? What's that fucking city called? That's in the quantum
Oh,
realm.
City was.
Oh shit! What was it?
What's the name of that city in the quantum realm?
Plot device.
I don't know, but
It's Kang
I don't know
City.
this-
Okay.
I don't know.
So what would have been cool is if whatchamacallit landed in there and or not or even land or let's just say a ship came out of a portal and landed
Chronopolis.
in our universe or the 616 universe in like a desert or something. And then like you see the door get kicked out and you see like a rock hand coming out and then it just click, go fade to black. That can because that can just
Tease the
put
Fantastic.
my whole theory of instead of the Fantastic Four going into space, they could have ventured in the quantum realm thanks to Hank Pym in the 60s and got lost and ended up venturing into the future now but then getting irradiated from all the shit in the quantum realm.
I'm with it.
And that's how they could have got their powers.
True.
Sorry.
Kang also.
Go ahead, Roundhouse. I will leave it alone now.
All right.
War Machine.
With WandaVision, the only things that I would change was to make the boys a lot more real, right? Than just her magic, like just her, off her, what she wants, off her, I guess,
Her pain.
right? I would make them more real than anything. And yes, at the end at the end of WandaVision, I would have like some demonic entity, teasing her. Yes, I would have some inkling.
Mephisto.
I would have some inkling of Mephisto. I would have, because you don't need you just need the inkling. You don't need like a whole thing. You just need an inkling.
I mean, like Thanos was in the beginning of Phase 1?
just a little bit, just a tad, because at the end you see like she's there, but she's actually projecting and she's actually reading a book and she hears her kids. My thing when she hears her kids, that's more of a scream like "Mom, help!" And it's like, what do they need? What are they crying help for? You tease that the kids are crying for help. Who has the kids in the comics? Hate to say it, the person who had her kids was Mephisto. So why tease it at the end of WandaVision and then not even capitalize on it? That I would change that. I would just give the inkling, like Mom, help, and then have the most demonic laugh at the end of that. That's all you need to do. That's it. Cut. Print.
The cut.
That's a wrap.
Cut the check.
That's the only thing I would do. And yes, I would actually introduce Reed Richards. You the slow build of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men is too fucking long. And I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. I think the build of having Reed Richards before Infinity War would have been better off than now. Because you would have that dynamic between Tony and Reed, right? The melding of the minds. The melding of the minds. Reed, Strange, Tony, T'Challa. The melding of the minds, really trying to figure out how to beat this motherfucker, right? I would have had Reed a little bit before that, or at least, even if you do kill Tony and everything happens, at least during WandaVision, introduce the astrophysicist, either Blue Marvel or Reed Richards.
Yep.
Word.
Going on. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like your idea. Echo. Especially with the long build of the X-Men, I think that needs to be something. But apparently, we're gonna get that explanation with Timmett, whatever the god name is that's sticking his head and head out. But anyway, no. But I think what they should have did with Isaiah Brantley's that's his grandson, not his nephew. Actually, it's his grandson.
Either way, the boy.
But yeah, yes, I would have him at the end, or at least because the reason why he gets the super soldier serum and the powers is because he gets
hurt, blood transfusion,
and the black blood. The only one that's has the same blood type as him is his grandfather. So Isaiah Brantley sacrificed himself and gives him his blood, and that's how he becomes Iron Lad.
Patriot.
Patriot. I wanted to sacrifice him, but I actually would have did the whole sick thing, right? And yes, you don't have to kill Isaiah Bradley. You don't have to kill him, but you can deform him a little bit. Like he's still kind of big. You can take make him how they made old Cap. Do it that way instead of being because he's already old, right? That super soldier is still keeping him alive. Just instead of having him be so big, right, and strong, just make him more fragile now, right? And that's what I would have did. And with the Flag Smashers, I like the story. I even like what's his name? U.S. Agent.
Oh, he was great. Johnny Mayonnaise.
Yeah, I like him. I think a little bit tooth and nail with it. I think they kind of killed his partner a little too fast. Yeah, I think at the end, I think the
I was about to call that nigga Smush. You go.
No, but what I'm saying is I think at the end, when everything's going down, I would have did it then. At least made it have more of an impact, right? Because the whole court scene thing, right?
That was beautiful
to me. Which to me would have been a lot more better because then because Val could have came in and actually saved, you know what I mean, kind of saved him and be like, oh, this and that, and then recruit him. I think that would have been better off.
It was just the spacing was weird.
Yeah, it was.
It was slow, but it was fast at the same time. It was retarded.
But I think introducing Val at the end and having him join, well, they did do that, but I think his partner being killed by the Flag Smashers at the end would have been a lot more better, right? And I think that speech that Captain America gave would have had a lot more impact because now you would have had 2 dead bodies on your hands, and you would have a broken Captain America. mind you, Isaiah Bradley said the blonde hair, blue eyes. Now you have a broken Captain America who just saw his partner die. Yeah, yep, yep. We have this broken Captain America that just saw his partner die. You have the leader of the Flag Smashers just die, right? So it would have been a little bit more impactful at the end. That's just how I would have did it, and that speech would have been that he gave was amazing. I just think it would have hit a lot harder if both people had died at the end.
Hmm.
Moving on, moving on. What was the movie after that? Uh, okay, I'll tell you. You know, I'll go with the movies that I didn't like. So, Quantumania, what they did with Modoc, trash, trash,
Oh, I tried to forget
trash,
about that.
Oh
trash,
boy.
trash. What they did with
Yeah.
Modoc was
Didn't like
fucking
that.
trash.
Lasted too long.
Bro, I'm
Oh, bro, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you? Oh my god, that was trash. Anyway, that was trash. Shang Chi was amazing. Shang Chi was great.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but y'all need to capitalize more on that with Shang Chi. We saw him one time. Capitalize on that. Hell, you should have.
Nah, he was in Barbie. What you talking about?
Oh my god! Well done. Well done.
Miss
Well done.
Marvel.
That's the multiverse right there.
Like what they did with Kang, I think they could have did way better with the Quantumania. I think the whole movie could have been a lot better anyway. But I like the fact that they showed how psychotic fucking Hank Pym really is. Like they
How'd they do that?
because he's actually because they if you didn't notice that they showed a little bit how from What If it's not far fetched what he did with the ants and everything like that. He's fucking insane. He
Oh
really
yeah, they say the PIM particles do shit to you after a certain amount of time. That's
yeah.
why Darren Cross was losing his
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
we got a little inkling of what our Hank Pym is, as well as the What If. So there's remnants of that. They kind of did a back and forth with that. I like
but
that.
also that was circumstance too.
Yes, yes. Um. Also, too. Let's see. What other movie I didn't like? Wakanda Forever.
What?
Wakanda Forever. I
Wow.
don't think they should have killed. Yes, make Shuri Yes, make Shuri Black Panther, but don't take T'Challa out. Don't
Where you gonna put him?
let me hear me out.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
You don't kill off T'Challa, right? And then just do a whole they have a child. I'm sorry, you just don't do that. We needed a new T'Challa. You just should have just picked a T'Challa. I just can't get over it. I understand you lost this man, but you should have just passed it on to some actor, not some actor, but a well-known actor, really good that can do the role. Yes, have Sherry. You can even do the whole thing where T'Challa just disappeared, that he was just tired of the throne and everything. You don't have to kill him off. You don't kill him off. You just say he was tired of the throne and everything, and then have Shiri really be Captain the Black Panther. You can have Namor and everything like that. You can have that, but at the end of Wakanda Forever, you have him show up with what's the name? With a child. You don't kill him off though. Maybe he was tired of the throne.
It's been done though.
This is how I'm doing it. Thank you. Let me finish. They shouldn't have did that. I don't think killing off T'Challa shouldn't have been good. That's the wrong way to go. I think you still could have had Sherry Bass Black Panther. I don't think killing off T'Challa would have been is the right move. That's and then
You just turned Black Panther into Fast and Furious.
Shut the fuck up, you son.
He right. He right. He's right.
T'Challa, why aren't you dead, family?
but you just don't do it though. I just don't. The killing off T'Challa was just
See,
bad.
yeah, but here's the thing: if you would have brought him back, I get what you're saying, and that sounds like a dope idea. But if you would have brought him back and it had been some other nigga, it'd have been like, who's this nigga?
No, it wouldn't have
He's
because
No.
the person who played T'Challa is dead. Like, come on, bro.
But the thing is, bruh, we were never happy with when they switched Aunt Viv. You think we were gonna be happy when they switched Black Panther?
Yeah, but
Fuck
Aunt Viv,
out of here.
but here's the problem: the person who played Aunt Viv was still alive. The person who played T'Challa is fucking dead.
Correct.
Sorry.
That's an even
So you
bigger
can't. So
disrespect.
you have to choose somebody else. There's no way around it. Period.
Whoever they chose, it would have been the same reception. The main thing was the fact that Chadwick Boseman wasn't in it. Everybody's biggest gripe was the fact Chadwick wasn't in it. Well, what the fuck? Y'all niggas know some necromancers? Can y'all bring a nigga back?
I do have to add one thing. Like you said, this is your vision on if you had control over changing it.
And fixing it, yes.
The only reason why they didn't choose another person was because the entire casting crew did not want to do it, including the director himself. That's the only reason. That's really the only reason why he was never recast.
And
at least not for this movie.
And I get that,
but now they can't bring him back because they've officially killed the character.
Right, and that's the wrong direction. You don't kill him off. You place him where he's not seen. You don't kill him off though. If he doesn't want to be king anymore, you can say he didn't want to be king. But you explain that along the way. You don't kill him off. At least to the point where yes, the Chadwick Boseman did pass away. Fine, we get that. But you don't kill T'Challa off. You just move along with telling Shuri's story as Black Panther.
You know what? Not gonna lie, I thought that's what they were gonna do. And then when they showed the funeral, I was like, oh, they killed this nigga.
Right. You just don't do that though. But anyway, moving on. What else? Hawkeye, I can take Hawkeye. I do agree with Echo. I like Echo and the whole story with that. I do like the story. I do think at the end she should have got the costume. That's just me. That's just me.
What costume?
The costume the Hawkeye had.
You talking about Kate? Because you went for Echo.
No, not Kate. I'm talking about Echo when she.
You just said from Hawkeye. You just confused the shit out of me.
When she had the Hawkeye costume, not the Hawkeye, the one where he was like had the sword and everything. That costume.
Oh, the fucking Ronin costume.
The Ronin, yeah. I think she should have had that costume. I think.
All right, lunatics and gentlemen.
Yes,
I'm leaving.
All right.
See you guys.
Peace out.
Bye.
Shalom.
I was about to end the stream. Whoops! Don't do that.
Don't get your ass.
We about to end soon anyway.
Yep, true.
But I also too I think she should have got the Ronin costume.
Who? Echo?
Yes.
Okay.
That would have been
was
cool.
her costume to begin with, even though they changed the story.
Hawkeye, I like Hawkeye. I actually enjoyed Hawkeye a lot. What other TV shows? I didn't see Wolf at what was it?
It wasn't part of it.
Was it Wolf at Night? Well, I didn't see Wolf.
Werewolf at Night?
Yeah, that was good, but it wasn't part of it.
You sure?
Oh, yeah, that was a special.
It was its own standalone thing.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
But it was good.
It was. I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch it. So there's that. What movies did suck? I'm trying to see. Okay, Multiverse of Madness. I agree with you on that they should have showed a little bit more multiverse with it and did a little bit more with it. Because now if you weren't introduced to Reed Richards, you were introduced to Reed Richards in that universe. So now you have to pay it off in our universe, and you still haven't paid it off yet. So that's why if you introduce Reed Richards in our universe back in WandaVision, it would have been actually a little bit made more sense. But the X-Men or Professor Xavier, that one, you have to pay that off, and we don't know how they're gonna pay that off. But anyway, moving on. The Eternals. I did not like Icarus as the main villain. I think they should have got somebody, another big bad, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like Icarus as the main villain. I just wish it was somebody else. That's just how because I just didn't like it. I really didn't like Icarus being the main villain. And yeah, and was it Pix or whatever name is? I didn't like it. I just couldn't take it. I was like, what is this? And I don't think Druid needed to be the main villain like the comic he is in the comic he is, but I think they should have got somebody else, something else, another entity that would have been the big bad. That way they all could have been joined together as family to fight this motherfucker.
Family.
And I'm sorry, but how is it that you have a giant fucking head
and hand?
No. You have a giant head looking at the earth with 6 eyes, and nobody says anything in multiple movies and TV shows. Nobody said a fucking thing. No payoff. You trying to tell me Sword didn't see that shit? You trying to tell me Sword didn't see that?
Pretty sure they did.
I'm sorry. You trying to tell me that Sword don't know about the whole head sticking out and the hand sticking out of the nobody knows about that? Namor don't know about that shit? He's supposedly I rule the seas and shit. You don't know about that shit? Namor? Hello?
I guess his reach didn't stretch.
I'm just saying, like, pay it off. And like also with Shang-Chi and his rings, I think they should have linked it with Ms. Marvel, right? I think Shang-Chi and his rings and Ms. Marvel and her ring, I think they should have do something with that. I think they should have just did something with that, which can lead to Kang, but do something with it. Other than that, trying to think what else. What other movies sucked ass? Oh, Secret Invasion. Sorry, let me just finish off with Secret Invasion. Trash show. You cannot do Secret Invasions in 6 fucking episodes.
Not no 30-minute episodes.
Not no 30 minutes.
45 maybe, but 30?
You cannot do Secret Invasion in 6 episodes. It is a recipe for destruction and a recipe for not working. No show, it just doesn't work. WandaVision was what, 12 episodes?
9.
But even that was short. Like you just can't do it. You can't.
But there was a payoff.
There was no payoff.
No, there was a payoff in WandaVision.
Payoff. Yes, there was a payoff in WandaVision.
They gave us crumbs. And
there's no payoff. There's no payoff in Secret Invasion. No. 1, Rhodey being a Skrull, I could take that. The 2, Rhodey's Skrull should have been the Skrull Queen. Pay it off. They should have did that. They should have did it. They didn't do it. Cowards. If you're gonna introduce Super Skrull, I'm okay with that. But not everybody's fucking powers. You got
did feel rough.
Like that. You now you have, and then you kill him off. Right? Not even like he flies away and anything. You kill him off.
Well, they killed off Drizzy. They didn't kill off old girl because she's the Super Skrull.
But you killed off the Super Skrull that we all know. But now you have her as the literally the most powerful person in the whole fucking Marvel universe. She has everybody's powers. How do you make sense of that? You don't. You can't. Trash. And you kill off Maria Hill.
And Gravity.
Yeah, that was cold.
And Talos.
How do you fucking do that?
And Talos. You can't forget that.
Those were big losses, I felt. Big losses.
Like how do you
Yeah,
How do you do
waste,
that?
wasteful.
Indeed.
Just I wouldn't have killed neither one of them off. One, because even in the comics, Maria Hill is just as good as Fury about hiding and getting out of real danger.
True.
She wouldn't have been killed off. Like, come on. Like, just. Oh, here's one movie. One movie. Last movie I'm talking about. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Ah,
Almost
it was
forgot
so
about
I
that
so.
one.
almost forgot about that movie. Almost forgot about that movie. Thor:
For a
Love
lot
and
of
Because it's
people,
Thunder.
a
forgettable.
lot of people did.
Thor: Love and Thunder. One, Thor shouldn't have had no kid, even though it is his Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter. I don't think that was the right way of going about it. You introduce Korg the God Butcher, but then it's not even that serious of a movie. It's all
It was
laughs and
ve-
games.
it was very serious.
No, it wasn't. It was all fun and games.
That's because Korg was telling the story.
It wasn't. It wasn't as serious as it needed to be. Period.
Mhm.
It should have been a little bit more serious. Um, you could have introduced Hercules a little bit earlier than what they did at the end. I was like, you could have did that earlier.
They needed it to stay on track. I felt that if they did that, it would have taken away from or added more bullshit against the story we needed to tell in order to get through it.
Yeah, but if Gordon the God Butcher is going to kill, like the other thing too is he killed two gods. So he killed the god when he first got the sword. He killed another god, but he hasn't killed any other god since then. So what other gods have he killed? We need to see a little bit more gods die. They didn't even explain. Like,
They showed it, but they didn't show it. They only showed all the deceased in like a panel, and that was it. But as far as people getting killed, like the first dude did,
yeah,
no, they didn't
they
show
didn't
as
show
many.
it.
They
Like
just saw what he did.
yeah, they just saw what he did, but it was only two gods. We didn't see anybody else that died. We needed
Correct.
to do a little bit more because in the comic he was killing
Oh
motherfuckers,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
killing motherfuckers. And with the sword too, they could have really did something with the Night King, right? With the sword. That sword is the sword they use. The Night King used for the symbiotes. That's his sword. They could have did something with that. Kind of introducing the symbiote a little bit. They could have plant some seeds with that. They didn't do anything with that.
right.
That you literally have the sword of the Night King that you can literally plant the seed with to introduce Venom.
The
No,
proper one.
no planning with that. So, and I'm sorry, but you introduce Infinity in Thor: Love and Thunder, but now the daughter is the most powerful now. Like I don't know what like what is that? Like I don't this takes away from storytelling, like introducing your child into the Marvel universe. It's that's not good to me. I'm sorry. Take your personal take your personal stuff outside of the movie stuff, please, because it doesn't it's not a Chris Hemsworth story. It's a Thor story,
Hmm.
and that's where Thor: Love and Thunder just completely takes me out of it. I like that they had Natalie Portman comes back as and be Thor. I'm fine with that. But in that movie, they should have introduced what's the name? What's his name? The Corbinite. What's his name?
Corbinite.
Um
Beta Rebel.
Beta Ray Bill.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They should have introduced Beta Ray Bill in that movie.
yeah. He was teased a lot.
Yeah, they should have introduced Beta Ray Bill in that movie. They should have did it. They should have did it.
That's true.
At least have because that would have been at least some more backup for them fighting Gork the God Butcher. So I think Beta Ray Bill would have been a great introduction to it.
Hmm. The Thor
And,
corpse.
and on that note, I'm done.
All right.
Okay.
I had one more thing. I'm gonna add. It's quick.
One,
It was
one
Thor.
more thing.
It wasn't Thor. It was the only thing they could have done to fix Ant-Man out of all of that, and I said it before, was when that portal closed, all we needed to do was have Scott Lang look hopeless and wondering how the fuck he was going to get there. And when the portal opened, all we needed to do was see a silhouette, and he would look like, who the fuck is that? And in comes Michael Pena. He'd be like, "Hey Scott, you told me to come in. Anytime this thing goes off, you brought me this thing. I
Uh,
came back, did all this stuff." He does his little exposition, and he
yeah,
come back, and I thought you would need this, so I came back to the house, and they say, "Oh, Scott's stuck," and I said, "Well, use this," and he used it. As he said that, and he's trying to tell the rest of the story, he hugs him, and then all is forgiven for all the shortcomings of that movie with one 2 minute appearance from Michael Pena.
I do agree. He was missing in that whole thing. Him
And
and
they
the guy, like the whole
and they said they couldn't find a way to put him in there. Well, guess what? I guess a nigga should be working for Marvel. So that
I know, right?
Mm.
well, on that note, thank you for another fantastic episode of True Story Bro. If you like the content we provide to you, and we know you do, feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll be on the internet talking shit like we do. Feel free to check us out on the interwebs on our IG, which is at official True Story Bro.
Ugh, I'm bad at this right now.
There it is right there. Follow us on, what is it called now? X? They call it X
Yeah,
now?
X is X.
Well, X at official underscore TSBP. Um, feel free to also check us out on. Hit
Oh,
the button!
I'm sorry. I'm out of it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, check us out on Kick as well. We are streaming now live on Kick. This is our first time on Kick. It's a new streaming platform, kind of like Twitch, but they're a little bit different. Uh, but Twitch is Kick is really good. It's really a really good program. Check us out on Kick. We're streaming right now, and thank you for everybody who's actually viewing us on Kick. But yeah, there's that. And don't forget to follow us on our Twitch as well, which is twitch.tv/ official true story bro.
What about you? You streaming? You back to California
Oh,
streaming? No. So never mind. Don't forget about Roundhouse's Twitch.
please.
For now. For now. For now. But he gonna come back one of these days.
One of these days.
One of these days.
Sometime.
It's been a year already, so
Yeah. But he's wrestling with the situation. But when he's not wrestling with the situation, feel free to check out him and the man has no nickname at Bros on at ringside to watch anything happening that involves wrestling or wrestling, as the uninitiated know it as.
which we need to get back on as well.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
indeed. And yeah,
Uh,
if you
yeah,
if you find yourself at a con or at home parched and you're wondering what tasty beverage we should take, feel free to go to drinkwildbills.com and use our promo code True Story Bro for 10% off. That's TRUE story bro for 10% off. I'm fucking fading fast. So we about to wrap this shit out right now. And yeah, don't forget to check out our boy Echo Ninja, Crimson Adams, and the man has no nickname for whatever nickname he'll have, and their exploits on the horrorverse and what it may contain at Saturday Night Nightmare.
oh yeah.
So Saturday Night Nightmare, no S, except for the Saturday. YouTube.com/ at Saturday Night Nightmare for all your horror movie needs. And
Yeah, don't forget to check out their Instagram as well.
correct.
Yes.
And
And
is that it? I think that's it.
we have merch.
Oh yeah, the merch shop. So yeah, if you want merch, I'm gonna hit you with this 9-figure diagram. Make sure you go to true-story-bro.creator-spring.com. God, I can't wait to change this URL. It's gonna take but until then, that's the one you need to buy all of our faces, all of our slogans, and any design that has to do with True Story Bro. And we'll appreciate you in all the adventures we see online.
Also, too, do not forget to follow our other counterpart, which is Needless to Say podcast on Spotify. You can find them on Spotify or Anchor or anytime where you're streaming a podcast. They don't do video; they only do audio. So definitely listen to them on Spotify. Also, too, speaking of wrestling, whenever you want to find out some more wrestling information and news, don't forget to follow our boy Chris at Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast, streaming on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Don't forget to follow him there as well. Also by the same name on Instagram as well and Twitter and TikTok. Definitely go to follow them on TikTok as well. And that's
All
it.
right, that's it.
And
You s-
before we go,
that's true. Don't be. Take it easy. It's been a real. Until the next adventure.
bye
Peace.
y'all.
Take care.
Deuces.
Later.
Peace.